What is up, you guys? Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great holiday season. Hopefully you got to spend some time with your families. Got some good Christmas presents. Let me just tweet this out real quick. Boom, perfect. Guys, it has been a minute since I've been on stream. Crazy couple weeks. I was sick, and then I traveled back home to go for Thanksgiving, and then went to my girlfriend's family's house, kind of did a pre-Christmas, and then flew back home for Christmas, and then flew back here for New Year's and my birthday. Just turned 30 a few days ago, which is kind of crazy. But had a really, really fun birthday with a lot of my friends that came, which was awesome. And then New Year's was really crazy. New Year's, we went to this New Year's party downtown, and it was fun. It was storming like crazy, and we couldn't get in. There was a party inside, and then there was a party on the roof. So we ended up on the roof because we couldn't go in. It was packed inside. And then straight up a hurricane kind of broke out, and we stayed for 12 o'clock. We stayed. We're like, all right, let's go. We could not get an Uber. And so we're outside of this. It was at the Hard Rock Hotel downtown San Diego, trying to get an Uber. Couldn't get one. Ended up going to this bar for 2 hours. We're trying to call an Uber and a Lyft. Couldn't get it. And we're like, we gotta go to the trolley. Maybe we can get out of downtown. And we start walking the trolley, and then it just starts pouring like crazy. And I'm I gave my jacket to my girlfriend, so I'm in a short sleeve shirt walking down the street, and I couldn't see. It was the craziest storm. We get in the trolley, we take it to Old Town, and get off the train. Still couldn't call an Uber for 20 minutes. We're freaking out. We finally get one, but he's on the other side of the tracks. So my girlfriend's in high heels. I throw her on my back, and we're with two friends, and they do the same. And we're run into this Uber. We finally make it. And then the drive home was sketchy. It was just the craziest night, but luckily we made it home. So yeah, I'm glad to be alive. That was it was honestly one of those situations where it's I didn't know what to do. You were just kind of stuck, and we're in the middle of this crazy storm, and it was a little scary because we couldn't just walk home. We had to figure out a way. Luckily, a guy came through with an Uber, and we got home. But so that was my New Year's, but it was still pretty fun. And yeah, so been a really fun holiday season for me. It was kind of the first time I I literally didn't take a break all last year. Neither did Dip Catcher. We really worked, through all those launches. I don't think we took a weekend off. It was a year straight of just grinding and pushing forward and working on the next launch, which I loved. When you're working on something you love, it doesn't feel like that. So it wasn't I never felt burnt out. Maybe the launch of the Perpetuals and team was kind of I was a little worn out after that, but then I woke up the next day and I was I wanted to keep going. So just kept pushing forward. But, I think we both took a week or two off towards the end of this year, which has been really, really good to spend some time with some family, rejuvenate a little bit. And I'm just so excited for this year. I know a lot of people, they don't treat, or they don't like New Year's resolutions or New Year's goals. I love them. I feel like it's a good time to reset, refocus. So I've been kind of focusing on what I want to do this year. And it gets me excited, and it's it's a fresh start. And yeah, so we're going to be getting back after it. I'm definitely wanting to be doing more streams. The dashboard is a huge focus. It's our number one priority right now. Kind of got lost, just with the holidays and traveling and I know Dipkitch is going to start working on that again and getting that finished. And I'm going to be working on updating the website. But for this stream, I just wanted to dive into Maximus t-shirts and what that looks like. We launched 5 HEX stake pools last year. So Maxi, Deci, Lucky, Trio, and Base. And so I'll go ahead and share my screen. You may have seen some, you may have seen some tweets like this where I'm sharing prices, t-shirt prices. And for a lot of people, I know HEX stake pools are like their first experience with HEX. And so with this stream, I just wanted to dive in. I'm going to do a little bit of a background on what a t-shirt is for the people that don't know. And then we'll kind of go down a little bit of a rabbit hole on how I've been looking at these, how I've been making, finding these prices for these t-shirts. And hopefully you'll have a better understanding of how to utilize these HEX stake pools moving forward now that they're launched, and how you can really build out your portfolio with these. And so yeah, let's dive into it. So this is probably the best explanation of a HEX t-shirt that I found. So in HEX, in order to participate in yield distribution, you must stake your liquid HEX. Staking is the act of locking up your HEX for a fixed period of time. When you stake your HEX is converted to shares, which the liquid HEX is burned for newly created shares. Your shares represent your respective percentage of the overall distribution of the yield, i.e. your piece of the pie, which is really interesting because that's essentially how our tokens work, right? Like there's a fixed supply of tokens that represent ownership in the stakes. And by you holding those, you hold ownership in that stake. And HEX actually works in a very similar way, where these shares represent your ownership in the yield distribution. And that yield distribution is inflation, has a max inflation rate of 3.69%. And that is paid out to stakers. And that's determined by the amount of shares you hold. So if we go to HEX daily stats, you can actually see the total amount of T-shares right now is 10.3 million T-shares. So every day there is a HEX daily T-share payout. You may have heard that before, and that ranges. But yesterday it was 6.6 HEX per T-share. So if you hold one T-share, you earn 6.6 HEX that day. And yeah, so the more T-shares you have, the more yield you earn. And let's see, I'll pull up so this is my Excel sheet that I've been using until we have the dashboard built. And so it requires kind of a manual input to get these prices and to get numbers. But so here's all the, let me just check and make sure if you guys can see that. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see. Maybe I'll zoom in when I can. Let's see. Okay. So these are the amount of T-shares that each one of the Maximus stake pools owns. So Maxi has 42K, Deci has 72K, Lucky has 7K, Trio 4K, Base 5K. And then here's the token supply. So if you divide that, this is the T-share cost. So by buying 6.5 thousand Maxi, you're buying one T-share. For the Deci pool, if you buy 7.8 K Deci, you will own a T-share. Lucky, Trio, Base, you'll see that these numbers are different, and that has to do with the cost of those T-shares when they were staked. So Base is a 1-year stake, Trio is a 3-year stake, Lucky is a 7-year stake, Deci is a 10-year stake, and Maxi is a 10-year stake. So if we go to go.hex.com, So when you're staking HEX, maybe you've staked HEX before on your own. This is the way to natively stake HEX. So let's say you staked 1,000 HEX for the max link 5555. And then it will show you how many t-shirts you get. So this has to do with the bonuses. So longer pays better is an extra 200% for up to 10 years. Bigger pays better is a 10% bonus up to 150 million HEX. So the bigger and longer you stake, the more t-shirts you'll get based off the effective HEX that you're staking. So with these pools, that's why base is higher, because it's a 1-year stake. Maxi is a 15-year stake, and it's lower. Plus the bigger pays better bonus in Maxi and Deci. So when I'm sharing those prices on Twitter, essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking the, this cost of a t-share in these coins, which doesn't change. The only one that's changed so far is Maxi, because through the launch of Team, there was a burn of Maxi. And so that price changed. It was at 6,990, and now it's 6,520. So unless there's a burn event, these prices don't change in the respective token, in the pool token. Now their USD prices do change. It does fluctuate, and that has actually a lot more to do with the price of HEX than it does with the actual performance, or the buying and selling of these tokens. So basically what I've been doing is just grabbing the USD price, plugging that in, and that will give you a dollar value. Because if you buy 6.5K Maxi at this price, or that is the price that you would buy that at on a decentralized exchange. And so I've just been tweeting those out. People have been finding it helpful to just understand how much you can buy a t-shirt for. And comparatively, it's at a huge discount right now, which is really good news if you're looking to grow your t-shirt holdings. And again, what I love about Maximus and HEX in general is that you get to control how much yield you want to earn. So if you want to earn more HEX every day, buy more t-shares, and you can do that now with these pools. Now the difference with these pools versus staking native is one is liquidity. So if you're staking native, you're locking your money, your HEX gets burned, and if you early unstake early or early in-stake, there is a penalty on your HEX. With these, you can trade in and out at any time. A lot of people view that as a benefit to people that want to sell early, but to me, I think this is a much better way to actually utilize HEX as a savings strategy, because rather than having to create hundreds of stakes, you can simply just buy more pool tokens in the pools you want and grow your t-shirt holdings. So I hope that's made sense so far. Let me see if we've got any questions or anything. Let's see. What's up, Name? How's it going? Too Negative, how's it going? Why did the investor buy t-shares? Because he heard they were terrific. I like that. Crypto King, let's all have a banging year. Happy new chain year. I hope so. I think Pulse Chain's going to launch. I wish more tools or more utility add to Poly. That'd be cool. Yeah, Poly's got a really great holder count as well as liquidity. So so Poly's a separate kind of entity. It's a lot like the HEX stake pools, but it's just for Hedron staking, earning ICOSA rather than HEX staking. So let me pull up this again. So this gives you a USD price, which is essentially just the price of like, for example, with Maxi, price of Maxi times the t-shirt cost, and it gives you a dollar value. And I can share this calculator out with you guys. for you to play around with. What's I doing with this one? Okay, so yeah, this was if you're swapping from HEX directly, because most pools are HEX related. And then down here, I've just been playing around with how much HEX, like total HEX, these pools have earned. So I'll show you actually how I'm doing that currently. So I would go to hex.com, and then there's a plugin called Custom HEX. This is built by Victor. Shout out to him. So this allows you to input an address and then see their hex stakes. It doesn't let you you can't, people freak out when you see in stake, but you actually can't do that until the stake is ended with the Maximus stake pools. So yeah, I just look at this and you can see the yield, the current. So right now, 359 million hex is in Maximus, in Maxi. It's already at 4.4% completion, which is crazy. Earned 34% yesterday, 32.9 overall. You can see the principal. So this is a great tool. And this is customhex.com. It's a Chrome plugin that I found on the hex.com website. Really useful. So I've got all the pools plugged in here, and I've just kind of been manually grabbing these values and plugging them in. So yeah, what you can do is like take this number, for example. I grab it because you can't. This is Deci. Actually, is this total hex? Yeah, so this is total hex, but I've been kind of on like a data trip recently, just playing around with numbers and watching these grow. Oh, here, actually, this is where I put it before. So Deci's backing value. So this is just like supply. Backing value is 1.08 right now, which is crazy. Let's see the current price. So it's at 1 right now. So it's still at a discount. But price is going up. So it's an 8%. I could have done that off my head, but. So yeah, 8% discount on Deci. I'm really looking forward to the dashboard being built. Maxi has a great dashboard already built, Maximus.cash, and you just go to dashboard. And so here you can see the backing per Maxi, so 1.3 hex and 111 hedron, and then the market price 6.6% premium, which is I'm really surprised. I mean, 1.3 hex is already backing Maxi, and it's still, I've yet to see it at a discount, so it's still holding above its backing value, which is impressive. And one thing I'm really looking forward to, so we were talking about T-share payout, and so this calculator on the Maximus site allows you to estimate what you think the future value of Maxi will be. And it does that by, you'll see average daily T-share payout. So we saw that the payout right now, crazy payout yesterday, 6.6. I believe the average over this past year has been around 6.2. And so on the Maximus site, you can put in what you think the average daily T-share payout is going to be for the rest of the stake. You can put in what you think the HEX price will be. So let's say it's $2.50. And let's say Hedron gets to any. So with that average daily T-share payout, one Maxi will be worth 6.59 HEX in 15 years when the stake ends. And so if HEX is at $2.50, Maxi will be at 59, and Hedron goes to a cent. So yeah, it's a fun calculator to kind of do some moon math, really simple. But yeah, here you can see T-shares. When you connect, or when you put in an address here, you can see your T-shares. So right now with the perpetuals, with Deci, Lucky, Trio, and Base, you kind of have to do a little more manual work to do your calculations. But the good thing is like, you don't have to. Like, you can literally just, hold on to your coins and keep earning trustless yield. And how Maximus stake pools work is, when the stake ends, you'll be able to redeem your portion of the pie of the pool, the HEX principal plus earned yield, plus the Hedron, by burning your Maxi. So it's a very simple, trustless process, kind of just a way to manage, trustlessly manage a HEX stake pool where there's no middleman. By you holding these pool tokens, you essentially hold ownership in the stake. So it's a very seamless process. And I think a lot of people get, they think that these pools are meant to, like the liquidity aspect, I think gets people tripped up, where they're like, oh, I can sell this, so I should sell it when I can, which is fully, like, it's totally an option to do. But these are stake pools. They're HEX stakes, and the real value is trustless yield earned in HEX. So the best thing to do is put on your accumulation hat and try to DCA into these pools, and you can really grow your yield-bearing asset portfolio really well with these. If you guys have any questions about these stake pools or T-shares, feel free to drop them. Be happy to answer. You can take a look at. So when we're looking at the wait, sorry, I don't have it up anymore. So this is something some people might not understand with looking at the prices of these pools. The USD price, and this is the USD chart, is more of a reflection of HEX and the buying and selling of HEX. If you really want to see its performance, you want to switch to price in HEX. And you can see, surprisingly, it's about where, so it's a little below where it started. It's only down 2%. And this is priced in HEX. So only down 2% from launch, which is great. Still holding very strong through the bear market. Maxi's got a little more time to look at. So if we switch to price in HEX, still holding very, very strong. And yeah, so over time though, like this is kind of a price premium, right? Like it started out 1-to-1, now it's backed by 1.3, and the market value is 1.39. So like close to launch, this makes a little more sense to look at as far as like performance wise. But it's been interesting, especially with Maxi, is the backing value is increasing so much that it's almost like the increase in backing value is going to put it at a discount before price will, which is pretty awesome. You want that. Like I'd be very happy if the backing value of Maxi surpassed its market price, and it's pretty close. It's only at a, what is that, only 9 cents or 9 head. Let's see, what am I doing? No, it's like 6%. Yeah, this is wild. I haven't actually been looking at these price charts that much. And people will look at these and be like, oh, there's not that much volume happening. It's like, okay, well, that's a good thing. That means they're great assets, because I would classify these HEX stake pools as more of like investment vehicles than like a coin. I call them alpha tokens, because their real purpose is we're like utilizing ERC20s as a form of trustless ownership in an investment, rather than like the token itself having like crazy pumpamentals, which these could. I mean, Maxi pumped out the gate. The other pools, I think, now we've created a healthy ecosystem where people have a lot of options to diversify their stake lengths, which is really good. So we haven't seen like a ton of volume on these, but it's like I would rather see less volume, because that means, one, people are holding onto their tokens, they're not like panic selling, and two, it's like it opens the gate. Like when people want to buy more and they have the right mindset of accumulating, these premiums they're not crazy, right? Like I would rather have a discount than a premium when I'm trying to buy into an asset. So for me, I think this is like really great. Let's see how Poly's doing. I haven't looked at it either. I don't know what that line is. So priced in Hedron. Doing pretty well. I mean, they're all holding really well. But again, like Maximus, like pool tokens aren't price dependent. So it's like we're in a different category than pretty much all other assets, because nothing else is backed by anything. And nothing is like earning trustless yield every day like stake pools are. So people that are just holding are winning, honestly, right now. And people that are accumulating, that's the way to go. Let's see. Is Deci the best deal to get T-shares right now? Let's see. Is it showing? Let's see. Yeah, so Deci's T-share price is $142. So if you're looking for just, if you're looking at just T-share price, but here's the thing to understand about these pools is longer pays better, but shorter pays sooner. And so, with Base, you're going to earn your trustless HEX yield much sooner than with Deci. And if you have so when you're thinking about these pools, it's wise to really consider what you want. Like, don't let anyone tell, and don't be thrown off by like prices necessarily with a T-share price, because it's like, are you willing to hold Deci for 10 years? That's where I would start my mindset. Like, are you looking at long-term investments, or do you and I think obviously, not financial advice, but like having a balance, the way you can utilize these is like, you can have, I'm sure many of you have heard of like a staking ladder, but you can have a HEX staking ladder with these tokens. So like you'll have with Base, and something I haven't mentioned with these is like with Base, Trio, Lucky, and Deci, they're perpetual. So they automatically roll over if you don't unstake. So with Base, for example, you can have a stake ending every year and trim off the yield from that, which is awesome. Or you can utilize them like a normal HEX stake, and you have Base ending in 1 year, Trio ending 3 years, Lucky 7, and you build up your portfolio where you have your goals aligned with what you want in 7 years, in 10 years, and then you invest accordingly. I think that's the true winning strategy, is to figure out how to utilize these to get what you want. And I think there's also a good consideration to have, is like thinking about when the next bull market's really going to happen. It could be a year from now, it could be 3 years from now, who knows? But having a stake ending would be amazing in a bull run. That's like the creme de la creme. And said, Desi T-share price is fire. Yeah. I mean, the people that get it, right? Like I constantly am sharing out, these prices, these T-share prices, and trying to educate people on the value of staking with Maximus. And, I feel like a lot of people would love to, invest more, but think about a bear market and just overall, like we're kind of in a recession right now too. It's like people don't have expendable capital that they, feel comfortable investing long-term with. And, I think Maximus is when we talk about like building generational wealth, I think Maximus and HEX in general are long-term plays, and it's smart to think of them in that way. Gav said, I love the idea of having a forever stake that auto compounds for generational wealth. And if I ever want to extract value, we will have tools that help us borrow against it in a safely collateralized way. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's already some tools being built around borrowing, and excited for those. I'm obviously, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it, just because just with leverage trading, I really do feel like I've just had friends lose a lot of money doing that, and I don't think many people are savvy enough to utilize those tools in the right way. So I think it's kind of one of those things that's like, will it bring value to a lot of people that know how to use it? Yes, but there's also that flip side of like, people are going to get wrecked too. And I don't know. It's hard. I don't like promoting stuff that I'm not confident that like people can safely use, like most people. But let's see. C said, will the yield be added to our wallet? How will we receive the yield? So that's a great question. So the yield does not go automatically to your wallet. You will have to burn your pool token, whichever pools you're in. When that stake ends, you will burn your pool token through the smart contract, and then the smart contract will give you your HEX principal plus earned yield. And she said through the unstake phase. Yes. So with the perpetuals, when the stake ends, there's a reload phase. And during that time, you can either just like hold on to your pool tokens, leave your HEX in the pool, and that'll be auto restaked. You can do what I just said earlier, which is burn your pool tokens and you can pull out your HEX. Or you can mint more pool tokens, like and grow the pool, and that will be, so like the redemption rate for one pool token will be the new mint rate in the future. So those are kind of the three options with the perpetuals. And then with Maxi is not a perpetual. So when the Maxi stake ends, the redemption phase begins, and that phase doesn't end. You can redeem at any time. The HEX will just sit in the smart contract until it's redeemed. Great questions. Check out this mug. I got it at a Beatles show in Vegas. It's pretty wild. Highly recommend it. It was like the Cirque du Soleil or whatever. It was awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about T-shares, about the pools, we can talk about Poly as well, Pulse Chain. I got through my T-share spiel way faster than I thought. Win 15-year perpetual, no expectations though. Wink, wink. We might. I mean, it's always a possibility. I think right now we're definitely, we've been kind of building horizontally and getting out the assets that, mainly like all of last year, our driver was Pulse Chain. Like we thought it was going to launch in May, and we launched May 1st, or the Maximus stake started May 1st, which was our first pool. And that was when the whole mid-May thing happened and the hype around it. So we were like, oh, we got it out before Pulse Chain. Awesome. And then didn't really think about Pulse Chain, but like it was always kind of in the back of our minds, like we have to get these assets out before Pulse Chain so that our community gets the double when Pulse Chain forks. And so that really drove us to work fast and launch the perpetuals and team. And then Poly was more driven around obviously the like HSI auctions. But yes, we were moving fast to get everything out. Right now, like the pools, I think like we have a solid ladder at this point. We could always launch another pool. And we probably will launch another pool in the future. But right now, I think we're really focused mainly on the dashboard, and then potentially building some more utility around our tokens. So, borrowing is something that people want to do. Again, I have mixed feelings about it, but when we talk to people in our community, it's like something they really want, and our tokens would make great collateral because they're increasing in backing value. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a possibility. I've got some other ideas too, but how's it going, Ted? Ted said, is there a way to just skim the yield from base and roll the principal over, or roll over the principal, or you have to redeem all the base tokens and then restake at a new base price? Great question. So yeah, you can skim. You get to decide how many tokens you want to redeem. So that's a great strategy, is to just leave your principal in, and that's actually what a lot of people do with their with their staking ladder strategies today, is they'll obviously in their stake and then restake their principal and have their yield, and skim their yield. Great question. Spinny said Pulse Chain in May. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, maybe RH was talking about this mid-May, not last. So we'll see. But I don't know. It's like, I don't think I know Richard Hart has said he's not timing the market, but I think you have to at this point, because it's like nothing is beating this bear market. There's a few bear market pumps that people get really excited about, but it's like nothing's gonna melt faces off right now until there's a bigger change on a macro level. And so for me, I would rather, I don't know, I have mixed feelings though, because like if we did launch it now and it didn't, it suffered in the bear market as well out the gate, great buying opportunity. But I think for the health of, people get excited about green candles, and personally I think it would be better to have Pulse Chain pumping out the gate than selfishly wanting a cheaper discount, but we'll see. Poly can be used as collateral for a loan. That'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, it's also a stake pool, and it's increasing in backing value, earning ICOSA every day, which it's doing really well. Like, let's see, let's pull it up. So the site for Poly is poly.maximus.cash, and so already it's earned 325K ICOSA, which is over 120K in US dollars. Had some really, really big days. 28K day, 38K day, 41K day. And that was once we added the remainder of the hedron, which must have been like right here. So yeah, I mean, Poly's still at a discount, 24% discount to its backing value. But I mean, it's like, yeah, it's doing well. Great exposure for long-term ICOSA staking. And it's like, anytime people sleep on something like this, like, I think it's a really, really good asset to have. And it just adds like, a little more diversity to your portfolio. And I think ICOSA, I don't know, we'll see how ICOSA does. I think the idea behind it, with it staying pegged to the share rate, is a really good idea, but will it be able to hold? I haven't been watching it too recently, but that ARB, like for people to market buy versus create HSIs, I think has been pretty low, and I think the rest of the first like 360 days is going to be a little rough just with inflation. But I think over time they'll be solid. It'll come back. Spinny said he's not timing the market, but you can always find something to fix. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I really, to me, like I was thinking about Pulse Chain more when we were launching stuff, again, just because I wanted people to have a double of our assets. So like launching them on chain was a big goal, but I'm not like, I mean, I sacrificed for Pulse and Pulse Chain, or Pulse Chain and Pulse X, and I invested a good amount, but I didn't overinvest like I think a lot of people did that are under a little more pressure. And I also didn't sacrifice for other projects that are waiting for Pulse Chain to launch. So I'm not like, while I would love Pulse Chain to launch and I think it's gonna be really fun, I'm not like super dependent on it. I'm not like consumed by it, but it is like fun to talk about. I think some people get angry at people just talking about Pulse Chain like it's FUD, but it's like, no, we can just talk about it. Like, you want people to still be talking about it. Like I tweeted this out a while back, but like the minute people stop talking about it is when I'd be more worried, for sure. Remember you proposed RH might be waiting for a Shanghai update on ETH. Yeah, which I still think. Also Uniswap V3 to consider for Pulse X. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm thinking more of like must-haves. I think V3 is nice, but Pulse X still has auto routing. It has limit orders. I think it would be fine with just V2, honestly. Although there was some people that were like, I don't know. I think it would be fine, but. What is the best way to put a reminder on upcoming perpetual dates if you don't want to go in the next pool? I would probably create. So if you go to hexfire.io, You can see the end dates for all the pools. And I think the best way would just be to create, a calendar alert, maybe Google calendars or whatever your calendar is. I thought I was showing it. Yeah, so HEX Fire, and if you go to Maximus DAO tab, at the top you can see the end dates, and then just save those in your calendar would be the best. Maybe that'd be a cool feature for the dashboard, is like to create that for you. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I love hexfire.io. It's got a really it's got a lot of interesting stats around the pools. Only 272 days left in base. Let's see how many. I'm excited for the base stake to end. That first redemption phase is gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting because, team is incentivized to grow these pools, and obviously there's gonna be some people that redeem their HEX from the pool, and then there's gonna be a new cohort of people that are joining the pool, and luckily, the launch of the perpetuals was kind of crazy because we launched 4 pools at once, and now we'll be able to focus on one, kind of like Maxi, and we hit 100 million this first launch, but I think we could hit, I don't know, 500. We'll be shooting high as always, but why not at least 500 million? Get some more t-shirts. So yeah, for these pools, or for these tweets, I've just been manually, I showed you guys how I was calculating those. I've been doing some other ones as well, just with manual calculation. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll drop some. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'll share that. I'll share this. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and make it a little more user friendly. Am I showing my screen? Yeah. Yeah, this is the just calculator I've been using that allows you to just kind of manually input. For you guys, that'll be good. Can you talk about Poly and why someone would want to get into it? So, right now it's at a 24% discount. So, what that means is it's backed by much more hedron, or it's one Poly is backed by 1.1 hedron, and now it's backed by. Is there a breakdown on the site? It will be backed by, a growing amount of ICOSA, and I would say Poly is the best way to get long-term exposure to ICOSA. It's kind of diamond handing, and it's executing on a strategy that I don't think anyone is executing on, which is it's bringing in max link staking to hedron staking, which is a HEX term, but over those 15 years, a lot of people are executing on the strategy of ending their hedron stake and then restake, like getting their ICOSA and then restaking. But the hedron system, there is it's not share. they're not shares, they're like stake points. There's a stake point system that is like HEX, and that if you restake, you'll get a worse rate than you originally had. So Poly has locked in a stake points rate, and it's not going to be unstaking for the next 15 years. So I think that is going to be extremely valuable. People are going to recognize that like Poly is earning a lot of yield over a long time, and it's also a liquid stake pool, right? So you have the same flexibility that you do with the Maximus stake pools. You can trade in and out at any time. There's no minimum stake length like there are with the what you call them like native Hedron stakes. It's not, those stakes aren't that long, but there's no limit with Poly. You can just trade in and out. And yeah, I think it's a little more risky just because it's mainly focused on earning ICOSA yield, and ICOSA is very new. It's an experiment, and it's going to have to prove itself over the next couple of years. But, although it's like, because it's riskier, there could be way more upside too. Like, who knows if this will outperform, a lot of other assets. So it's just, I would say it's mainly just like wanting ICOSA yield exposure. And, right now the buying opportunity is just the discount. It's at a 24% discount. And who knows when that's going to be yoinked. Good question though. Let me see. All right. Let me do some calculations on these stake pools. So we did Deci. Let's do Lucky. This is Maxi, Deci, Lucky. Right, let me see. 74 million. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I cannot wait for. Wait, is this total or is this yield? So 03. Okay. Cannot wait for this dashboard so I don't have to manually do this. 7, 8. 2. Trio. I see Destiny Lucky. Zero. And then base. Three, 1. All right. We'll check out base. Trio. Oh, you're doing pretty well, actually. Lucky. So base at a 1% discount. Trios at a 1% discount. Luckies at a 5% discount. I'm just amazed by how fast these backing values are growing. Dusty's already backed by 1.08. That's pretty wild. Def Hands just said, just got me some lucky for 2029. That's awesome, man. It's the way to do it, man. It's like people that get it will get it. People that won't. So I'm coming up on an hour. If you guys have any questions about anything we've been talking about, T-shares, any of the Maximus tokens, feel free to drop it. This is the, if you want to read more about T-shares, here's the PDF. HEX daily stats, great site. Maximus.cash for the Maxi dashboard. Go.hex.com. Just sharing all the sites I was using today, guys. And then so customhex.com. That's the Chrome plugin to see any addresses, stakes. Let's see. Could there be a forgiveness period like once a year for people that didn't diamond hand for each perpetual? That didn't diamond hand. Could there be a forgiveness period like once a year for people that didn't diamond hand for each perpetual? Well, that didn't diamond hand. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Could there be a forgiveness period like once a year for people that didn't diamond hand? Like once you sell your perpetuals, you would just have to buy them back to buy back into the pool, into that stake. So this year I could add to another pool for my lucky. So you could swap. So this year I could add to another pool for my lucky. You could sell your lucky for another pool, but it's like, just think of it in very simple terms. It's like, okay, you hold lucky, you hold some ownership in lucky. If you sell that, you're selling your ownership in that pool. But you could also, keep your lucky and buy some base, and now, you have ownership in the base stake and the lucky stake. And if you hold those to redemption, you can redeem the HEX principal plus earn yield from those. Hope that answered your question. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when I was reading through that PDF, just a summary of the of HEX staking, I hadn't really thought of it in that way. That HEX staking really is just like a giant pool, and like your T shares represent your ownership in that in HEX, right? It's your shares are ownership, and our pools essentially operate in that same way, just for like just for a single stake. So your pool tokens represent your ownership in that stake, and you can trade them anytime. They're not locked unless you did Maximus Diamond Hands, which is a whole other video we could do. But for most people, just holding to redemption, it's really simple. See if there's any questions on Twitter or anything. Could you make another contract for lucky holders who didn't get in last year, but the Diamond Hands contract could release in 6? Oh, I see. So you are talking about Diamond Hands. That's a good idea. Something I've wanted. So along the lines of like building utility around our product, I personally think that I call it like the Master DAO, which would essentially be like a staking protocol for all our tokens, that would reward people. They could stake any of our tokens and earn another token. We could launch another Diamond Hands, but I don't know if that's something we haven't really considered doing that at all. Name, how's it going, man? How to encourage and incentivize burning pool tokens to increase redemption value for the rest of coins. It's a good idea. We could do, if we ever, team was definitely a one and done thing, for like our DAO token, but that showed like a possibility of how, we could burn tokens, something like that, through another launch or another product. Could be through that Master DAO idea that I was talking about. Maybe a portion of the if you were to stake Lucky, for example, a portion of that Lucky that you're staking gets burned. That'd be cool. But yeah, that's what's like very unique about our tokens. People talk about burns, and while like for most tokens, by like decreasing supply, it could have some positive impact on price because there's less supply. So, but with ours, it's like there is a direct correlation. When you burn any of our pool tokens, it increases the redemption value of all the other pool tokens. So I think that's a great idea. Name is like, we should be thinking about new ways to create burn incentives, and we can definitely think about that this year and how to do that. And then next year, do another Diamond Hand lockup for Lucky that would end in 5 years, just to keep locking up tokens, but they all end in 2029. That'd be cool. I hadn't really thought about another Diamond Hands contract. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Another Diamond Hands would harm liquidity, which is part of what differentiates perpetuals from HEX tradable stakes, as a feature requires enough liquidity for trading to be rewarding. I agree. I think like, yeah, liquidity is definitely valuable for people that want to trade. it's kind of been, yeah, like let's see how liquidity is right now. So Maxi's got 160K. I don't know if this is the biggest pool for Maxi anymore. Desi had a lot last time I checked. There's 2 pools. There's 100K, 792K, Lucky 53K, Trio 28K, Base 153K. Yeah. So I mean, another idea or like around things we could do is, we had talked about this a little while back, but there's these things called geyser pools, which is essentially reward people for providing liquidity, which you can launch with any token, and to incentivize more people to provide liquidity, maybe we could launch something like that. But I do agree there is valuable. A lot of people do value liquidity, so there's always that option. Al said, yo, HEX is dying. The Maximus products will die with HEX too. Yeah, man, death. We're going down. No, man, HEX isn't dying, dude. Let's be real. Like, this is a bear market. This might be your first, and that's cool. But look at the chart. It's a cycle. It'll come back, and not a lot of coins will. HEX has already come back once, so it'll come back, man. Now's not the like. People are very afraid, and I think again, a lot of people, this is their first bear market, but I think it's Warren Buffett that says it, like, when people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. Now's the time to be greedy. And I think a lot of people are in a hard financial situation, and they don't have the ability to buy more, but I think a lot of people wish they could. But it'll come back, man. Don't worry, don't stress. Dip Catcher said it wouldn't harm liquidity. Yeah. Do you think there's any strategy for the PulseX Pulse Chain sacrifices happen on top of the market? If there's any strategy for the PulseX and Pulse Chain sacrifices? Not too sure what you mean, Jazz. Do you think there is any strategy for the PulseX and Pulse Chain sacrifices happen? Yeah, I'm not too sure what you mean. If more lockups causes premiums to go high, then it would cause people to unlock and pay the penalty. Yeah, true. HEX is not dying. It's an altcoin in a bear market, but by your logic, everything is dying since everything is down. If you look at on-chain data, more stakers and buyers are coming into the system. Yeah, HEX is definitely growing, even through this. I think like we are absorbing our own level of, bigger people that got in early, are locking in their gains. But truly, like, that's a good thing. Like, you want a redistribution through a cycle. Like, the worst thing would be for those people to hold on to their tokens, and when we're trying to outpump everybody, like, those people are trying to sell into that. So it's like way less sellers for the next bull. How many days left to mint water? It's a good question. Probably launched. So it's 30 days. Let me pull up what I'm looking at. So you can definitely still mint it now. And there's 30, what is it? 36 day thirdnings. And I believe it launched the 10th. So I think we're currently still in this tranche here. But total days, 214 from launch. Weak Dog says 15 years is a long time to wait. World would be a different by then. Some countries won't exist. States will succeed the U.S. Wars, etc. I still have long stakes, but no more 5555. Weak Dog said new money will exist. CBDCs. Yeah, I mean, 15 years is a long time for sure, but you know, it's like with Maximus stake pools, there is like if times are changing, you know, you're locked in, but you're not. You know, you have the freedom to, if you don't like what's going on in the world and you want to liquidate your positions in these stakes, you can do so. Dipcash said, I think RH plans to bridge in the stable coins to inject value in the Pulse X markets. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think people think that RH is just going to pocket the sacrifice funds, but I'm sure he's going to utilize a good portion of those to seed some liquidity and bring in some value. How's it going, Crypto Gains? Thanks, man. Shout out to Brian. He just hooked me up with a bunch of new gold cards. These are like, I might do a giveaway with some of these for you guys to go follow him. But they're so sick. I take these out everywhere I go. Are these? They're like real gold. No, I'm just kidding. But they have HEX on one side and Pulse Chain on the other. Quick little QR code. Very, very good for onboarding. Oh, Dipkish said 270 days total for water. Yeah, it would be nice if on the poly site or on the water tab to see. Okay, it does show the current rate, which is good. But if it showed like dates, that'd be awesome. Gav said, when you redeem your HEX yield and you want to cash out your HEX, how do you personally look at the price chart and determine when is the best time to sell that yield? It's a good question. It's a very, very good question. I mean, it really depends on how quickly you need that yield, I guess. But like, you know, time in the market's hard. I think, yeah, I don't sell a lot, to be honest. Like, I've been in crypto 5 years now, 4 years. Oh, nope, I'm in 2017, 6 years. And I'm still in accumulation mode. Like, I don't think I utilize crypto like a lot of people do. I'm very long term on it, and so that's a question I got to figure out too. But yeah, I mean, it's funny we talk about like trading's bad, but there is a level of skill with like locking in gains, and yeah, that's a very good question. Def Hands. Life will continue on, though. I'm betting on positive outlook that humans will survive, and so will crypto. I think so too. I think it's just going to continue to evolve. I try not to get too caught up in the macro, because it's kind of like, I think it's best to focus on the things you can control. And you know, a lot of the things, even in crypto, which is like a pretty niche market still, there's just a lot of things that people complain about or are fearful of that like they have no control over, and there's nothing they can really do to control it. So why waste time freaking out about it? It's kind of like you got to just play the game where it's at. And you know, like with gas fees, it's like the reality is right now gas fees are a problem for HEX staking. This is just an example of like things that you can do. Like, gas fees are a problem. That's why Richard Hart is launching Pulse Chain. And that's why we created these stake pools. That was like the original idea, was to solve HEX stake gas fees. And, you know, that's one area of like planning for the worst, but hoping for the best type of things. I think if you take, you know, like a lot of strategies in that way, you'll do the best you can, and that's all you can do. I haven't even looked at the HEX chart in a while. Let's check it out. Let's see. I want to compare. How correlated are we looking right now to Bitcoin? See, I don't know, man. I think we definitely have more correlation than people will like to admit. But then we also do have our own sellers and shit, but correlation is there for sure. But I'm also like, look at all these new supports we're creating. Like the thing about HEX before, and why I've just been like, I don't know what's going to happen, because when you look at this, like no support here, there was some support through here, but now look at all of these like supports that we built. You could say like maybe it'll be some resistance on the way up, but like we've developed a lot of support through this range, which is really good. I mean, 3 cents, we got some very strong support. I never thought we were going to break from 3. So I'm glad it did something. I'm glad we went some direction. I hate sideways charts. Name said, be cool if the executor provide liquidity in the Maximus ecosystem and burned all pool tokens earned by fees. That'd be cool. That's a good idea. Look at the HEX BTC pair. Okay. How do I find a link to it? Oh, there we go. Is this it? Solid. That only looks very bullish. Yeah. Absolutely. We're kicking those Bitcoiners' ass. Dipicatcher, I don't know if you're home, man. If you want to stream, let me know. I'll shoot you a link. Yeah, guys. So I'm gonna keep. I'm sharing right now. I'm gonna keep sharing these prices. I promise you though, like. You can clip this, these prices, like you're going to look back on this day and be like, holy shit, man. I could have bought a T-share for under $200. Truly, like it's it's just like, I mean, I'm in the same boat as everyone else though. Like, I wish I had more money to buy more T-shares. That's what, like, my 2023, I want to be focused on cash flow and making more money to invest more. I feel like everyone's in that same boat. I think a lot of people are a lot more open to utilizing crypto to try to make money versus investing. It's just so risky. Like, I've played the meme coin game one time and got wrecked, and I was like, yep, that's why I don't do it. And so for me, like, I think I might be focused more in, like, maybe outside of crypto, like revenue generating stuff this year. Obviously still working on Maximus DAO, working with Dipcatcher on building out awesome tools. Maybe we can figure out like a revenue generating product that will allow us to be more full-time. But we've been full-time on this, for a full year. But we have bills and shit to pay too. And so that's, I'm definitely focused on making more money. Definitely looks primed for a rip. Absolutely. Love the synergy between you and Dip. Y'all are great founders. Thank you for providing us little guys with all these great tools. Thanks, Gav. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Dipcatcher is my best friend. We've been best friends since 5th grade. Linked up in 2016 on our first startup together. And yeah, our synergy has just gotten better. Like, we both are like improving our skills, like have been improving our skills over the years. And I feel like now we're at a point where we're becoming experts in our own areas. So for me, like marketing, design, and then for Dipcatcher, like his coding ability is just like exploded. And now we can pretty much build whatever we want together. But also we've gotten better at just working together too, and just knowing what we're both good at. And we have a really good, like when we're coming up with ideas, we've become much better at, like, only good ideas survive, and we'll each come up with new stuff, and the stuff we end up building is usually pretty good. I'm not proud to admit, but I followed the hype of a few alts, and buy the hype, sell the rumor is unfortunately the way to make money during these dark times. Yeah, 100%. It's like I kind of butt heads with people that are playing that game, because it's not really, it's like I'm just not in that game. And like we are just playing different games at this moment. But I respect, like, it's just a lot of risk, right? Like, and I think for me, like the thing that just gets a little frustrating sometimes is people that are telling other people that this whatever token they're talking about is going to actually break out in this bear market. It's like, that's a lie. Everyone knows it's not going to. There's definitely been some bear market pumps in some tokens, and I hope people made money on that. But no one is really going anywhere right now. And that's just the reality of it. And I definitely still have way more faith in HEX than any other coin out there. But yeah, man, nothing wrong. I think for me, I'm also, I don't know. I feel like I have come into more of a leadership role this past year. And so for me, I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about other people. And I know that a lot of people are investing, that $1,000 they have, maybe probably less. A lot of people less than $1,000, and rather than like building a real financial plan in crypto with HEX, they're getting sold on like a pipe dream. And with HEX, like, yeah, we're down 95%, but like the beauty of HEX staking and earning yield is like, even through this bear market, like you're still moving forward, you're still earning, and there's still a huge upside potential for HEX long term. And long term thinking in a bear market is very hard. But Crypto Gains said, time in the market beats time in the market. Absolutely. Yeah, it's like, again, it's just hard. But I get it. Like, there isn't like, if you want to make that choice that you want to like try to make money in the bear market, like it's there. Like you could get a couple X's and get in and get out, but it's like, you play that game, or do you get smart about building like your long-term plan first, start moving forward, and then play games in the market? And again, I think it's much harder for people with smaller bags, because it's like, if you have $800, you like, would you rather try to flip that into like a 2x or a couple X's, or like invest 10 years out? It's like, yeah, I don't know. It makes sense why a lot of people, but Gav said, all is fair in love, all is fair in war, Mr. Hands. If you don't make the trade, someone else was going to dump on your head in this perpetual game of musical chairs between buyers and sellers. Very true, man. It is all a game. It really is. In every coin. But yeah, it's like, for me, the game right now is just like accumulation. Like, I don't like a couple X gain in a bear market isn't going to bring you like real wealth. It may like make you some money, but like the longer term you can think, the more you're going to win, especially in HEX. But even at a 2x, 4x pump is good enough. I can't help but see the hype, so I buy in and sell after the 2x, and it worked the last couple times. Definitely only like 1% of my bag though. Hey man, good for you. Good for you. Like, to be able to manage, like actually manage like your asset management of knowing how much you're willing to lose. I think like that you're above a lot of people in that regard, because I don't think a lot of people are able to separate their risk tolerance across a lot of assets when it comes to meme coins and stuff. I don't think a lot of people understand the game that they're playing, and it's like clear to see with how they're talking about these assets. And it's really the people that really get screwed are the people that don't understand the game they're playing, and then they're like, I'm riding this all the way down. After the pump's already happened, and that's going to be the only pump that coin ever gets. So if you're smart about like the percentage that you're willing to put into that, and I always like, not giving financial advice, but I think it's better to get your baseline of an investment strategy before you try to hop into that. But teach their own. Arizona said 97%. It's just fun and learning, basically. Yeah, that's good, man. Keep learning. There's a lot to know. I've onboarded a friend with a smaller portfolio to Desi and Maxi. She loved it. That's awesome. Good to see you, Hex McKenzie. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Yeah, I mean, Maximus stake pools are a really, really great onboarding tool. there's a lot of like game theory that people love to talk about, but really it's like it can be very simple. It's just like buying a token and then redeeming its value when the stake ends. So definitely want to put a focus on onboarding people new to crypto in 2023. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Happy New Year. The only coin I've married is HEX and perpetuals. Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, HEX is earned my respect in a lot of regards. Just its track record, its community, pushing through a lot of very hard times, and it's only being strengthened every day. Like there's a lot of FUD and stuff going on right now, which I haven't I'm not too aware of all the FUD that's going on. People seem to be talking about it more than I've seen the actual FUD. But some people will be FUDed out of their bag at the bottom, which happens every cycle. And there's going to be people that opens opportunity for, and it's a healthy thing for a market. Reddit is the worst. No love for HEX on our cryptocurrency. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like that's the thing about people wanting to, I don't know, be like I liked Richard Hart calling it like kumbaya with these other cryptocurrencies. It's like one, I don't know, there's like really no very open crypto. Like once people are in crypto and they've got their tribe, like they're not trading. Like I don't know. Some people, I think that's what's been most impressive about HEX is like there actually have been some people, whether they were like Bitcoiners before or like came over from ADA, or there has been a healthy amount of people that have like switched their main crypto community. But overall, it's like, do I ever foresee a future where we all just get along and everyone like, I don't know. I don't think that's possible. I think, yeah. So like, and HEX has its own level of, criticism and just like with who Richard Hart is, and I don't know if that'll ever change. I think we're always going to be kind of fighting that uphill battle, but only with time, I think we'll have earned a lot of people's respect for just being around and like performing how it has. Where do you see the Maxi ecosystem in the next 2 years? Good question. I mean, there really shouldn't be any expectations, so I don't want to set any, but like one thing I can say is just like, we're going to keep earning yield. That's kind of the beauty of Maximus, is like, we don't have to do anything more. The contracts are out, they work, and we could die tomorrow and the products, especially like the perpetuals, they'll keep restaking every period, which is awesome. For me, the next 2 years, I see a lot of new people coming in. I hope in 2 years the bull market has started, which brings in more people than anything. So hopefully we hit another bull market by that time. We'll have had 2 base periods, so excited to have the first redemption phase happen. I think we'll have built some new tools and utility around our tokens. One of the beautiful things about Maximus tokens too is like there is yield on yield opportunity. So today you could provide liquidity with your pool tokens and be earning HEX yield and fees from providing liquidity. So I think we have an opportunity to like build some cool stuff around our products that empower people to earn more. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a good question right now with just like the new year, because I've just been thinking about like where do we want to take this year. We have such a good base now of just awesome assets that on their own kick ass, like, and then they're doing what they're supposed to. And so it's like we've been kind of in an asset launching phase, and I think at some point, whether we like we might launch more assets this year, but I think like building more utility around these assets, that could be more of the focus this year. And but yeah, we'll see. Will there be another chance to convert Maxi to team and stake in September every year? No. So the team mint phase was a one-time mint phase. And so the team supply is fixed. No more team can ever be minted. But you can always just swap your Maxi for team and stake it for the next period. So team staking periods are 1 year long. And so if you were to buy more team before the stake period starts and stake it, you can earn for that period. Is there a website where we can calculate how many HEX we get per stake team? That's going to be on the new dashboard that has yet to be launched. But yeah, that'll show your team staking rewards. I'm staking one of the token, and I forgot which one I'm staking. I believe it's team. Awesome, man. Yeah, so that's a 1 year stake period. And each year is variable. So with like rewards. So this first year will be just base, like rewards from base. And then that'll be year 1 and 2. And then, actually, no. So the team also is getting Hedron from Poly in this period and the next. And then year 3 is base and trio and Maxi from the Maxi 369 rebate. So yeah, every year is different, and that'll be shown on the new dashboard. Any plans of Maximus DAO getting involved in NFT space? Like what's no plans right now. Yeah, no plans at the moment. I have wanted to do more of like a reward NFT for people in our community, and I found, let's see, what platform was I looking at? 1 second. Yeah, so I've been exploring like how to do NFT airdrops. One thing, let's see. I'm looking at this site or this platform called Manifold, which I've heard really good things about. I want to create some type of gladiator NFT for people for fun, but nothing solid yet. But yeah, this site looks like it's got good utility to be able to do something like that. If you guys know if you guys know how to do NFT drops, hit me up. I suggest adding the number of HEX required for a t-shirt with Maximus DAO tokens required for a t-shirt that you post on Twitter. That's a good idea. I was doing that. It's just like, it's almost incomparable because it's like the only way to get the liquidity. Yeah, I was sharing like the base native stake, which is like 25,000 HEX right now. So I can add that again. I'll keep doing that. Jerry said, what the fuck? Can you do calculation of how much a $1,000 team staker might earn by 2025 if HEX is around $1 to $5? Yeah, I'll do that. That could take a little time, but I'll calculate that for you and tweet it out. Arizona RC, how did you and co-founder learn to code program? Basically just like out of necessity. I'm more like of a front end, like a very light front end developer, so I can like build components. But so we really learned the skills we have today from just working. Like on our first startup is where I learned how to design, and he was actually working more on a hardware. We started out as a hardware startup, and then we kind of pivoted to software and building a mobile app, which I designed, and then he worked with a team to build. And then after we shut that startup down, he got a job at a legal tech startup as a developer, and I came on as a designer. And yeah, and then he learned how to write Solidity like over, let's see, probably over a year and a half ago, and that was to build Maximus. So, but him learning how to code, like me, the things I know about how to code are, I've taken like Code Academy, but again, like my coding skills are very light. I'm not an expert like him. I definitely want to try to learn more Python this year though, to build my own apps. Anvil is what Dibcatcher uses, by the way, and it's a pretty good starting place for Python apps. Hey Monica, how you doing? Happy New Year. Dave, great idea to add to the new dashboard. Yeah, it's a good idea. Let me pull up. Thank you guys so much for all the questions and conversations. It's been really good. I hope the T-share conversation answered questions that some people were asking on Twitter. I just like diving into a little more. That's kind of the bread and butter of Maximus, is the T-shares you hold and kind of understanding how that applies to just, because basically, I mean, it's very simple calculations. Like, you know, like each pool owns this many T-shares, divide that by supply, and then here's the T-share cost in these tokens. You can multiply that by the USD price, and then just figure out how much it would cost right now to buy those T-shares. And again, we'll have all this information. You won't have to calculate this on your own when the dashboard is launched, which I'm looking forward to, because manually doing this has been a pain, but I hope you guys have found it helpful. How do you feel about the AI will take our coding jobs? I don't, it's so new. I don't even know how to think about it yet. I think it's going to, like, it already has been kind of enhancing. Like, there's autocomplete coding tools already that people have been using for like at least a year. And it was like some shocking stat, like 80% of the code that was on GitHub was written by that software. So it's already been happening. And I do feel like there's still, like, although like ChatGPT can write code, there is still a level of like implementation that hasn't been solved yet. But I do think that like the no code tools of tomorrow are going to be mind-blowingly good for people to just build a site, which I'm looking forward to. But I think it's definitely, Yeah, it's a reality. And I'm the thing I've been talking about like recently is like I'm just grateful that I've had the opportunity to have a hand in like innovation. I feel like we're kind of at the first and last time in history where humans are the ones that are actually coming up with ideas and building. Um, I think that like in the foreseeable future, I could see AI not only writing the code, but like for smart contracts, for example, like identifying a market need and then writing a smart contract to serve that need. Kind of a flexible future with like AI really taking lead on what should be built. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the last of the human era. I feel like, but there's like right now, it's like there's so much opportunity to like utilize AI because it's very new, and whether you like want to make money copywriting online and like writing blogs with AI or answering emails for people, like there's ways to make money today utilizing these tools and doing less work, which is awesome. And so I think the people that figure that out right now are have a lot of opportunity. So it's not all bad, but we'll see. Crypto Dave said, I want to get more team and lucky. That's a good move, man. It's a great move. Well, awesome, guys. This stream's been great. I may cut this up a little bit and repost it on Twitter, just about T-shares and stuff. But really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are starting off the year great. We've got a lot. I don't know what we're gonna do next, but it's gonna be big. This year's gonna be a great year to be a gladiator. I'll be streaming more for sure, just around our assets and how to utilize them for what you want to get out of life. And we're going to be around for a long time. I mean, 15 years is a long time. And that's exciting because there's a lot of opportunity in that time too. So I'm going to go grab some lunch. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.